G'day SA.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Jay, and welcome to Victor Harbour.
Harbour.
Cannot wait to see what Victor Harbour has to offer today. Hi, with Adrian down here at Victor Harbour Tramway. Very excited. We've got a special guest over here called Misty. How old's Misty?
Misty's 17 years old.
Now, how many horses do you have down here for the nice little bit of a trek down to Granite Island?
Four working horses at the moment.
Misty's part of a generation. Now,
That's
she's
right.
the granddaughter of one of the original horses.
Yep. We had Faith, who used to work on the tram back in 1986 when it started up again. And then Sky was her daughter, and then Misty was Sky's daughter.
Can you also give me a little bit of a background on how the tramway started?
Sure, yeah. It was all part of the Murray River transport. So things came down the Murray River on their paddle steamers, and then they built the railway through to Granite Island.
And the horses would bring all the food
horse
down
drawn
that way.
carriages over to Granite Island.
How many tours do you do a day down here?
10 runs a day.
So Misty will do a couple of hours stint, and then
right.
the other
Yep.
3 horses will go on past her.
Yeah, they share it round. Some days they'll do about 3 hours, other days only out for a couple of hours.
Victor Harbour's Horse Drawn Tram is one of the oldest and most popular tourist attractions in the region. It's been operating since 1867, when it was used to transport goods to Granite Island. In 1894, the service was opened to the public, and today, more than 150,000 people visit every year. The tram takes passengers along the causeway to Granite Island every hour from 10:30 a.m. It's one of the very few horse-drawn tram routes remaining in public transit service anywhere in the world, and provides service every day throughout the year except Christmas Day. When you get to Granite Island, visiting the Penguin Centre is a must.
I'm with one of the most inspirational people you'll probably meet in Victor Harbour. I'm with Dorothy from the Penguin Interpretive Centre. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Now, you retired a few years ago in Victor Harbour.
Yeah.
And you settled down and you wanted to volunteer somewhere, and you thought, well, there's some sick penguins, and you put all of your time and effort into building this. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the building was already originally here, and it had been intended to be like a rehabilitation area, but no one had the time or the dedication to do it. So we'd retired down here, so we had the time, and then we soon found out we had the dedication because of the little penguins that needed rescuing.
Now, I can see the dedication because you personally hand-planted all these trees. You dug the burrows for the penguins to breed and all that sort of stuff in your spare time, which took so long.
Yeah, we've been here on the island for 13 years this end of January.
Now, you've got 7 penguins here. They've obviously were sick and injured. Can you tell us some of the illnesses that the penguins have?
Yeah, well, if they've got any eyesight problems, they can't see to catch fish, of course. So,
Yes,
you know,
of course.
looking out with the good eye, the beak goes that way, so they're going to starve. So we've got 2 in with eyesight problems now. Leg problems, they can't run away from predators fast enough. Especially we've got one injured with a dog attacks, which happen frequently because people let dogs roam on the beach area.
And they come in.
Yeah, and they pick up a scent and it's little penguin. They can't fly off, you know, they can't fly away, so that's how they get injured by dogs.
Now, do you think penguins in general, since the movie Happy Feet came out, it had a spike and the kids wanted to learn more about them? How many visitors do you come here every year?
There's about 35,000 visitors a year, you know, visitors, and Happy Feet did do a lot.
It did a lot, I bet.
Yeah, I'll say. And, you know, of all the birds in the world, you probably won't recognise some of the names, of course, but if you say penguin, everybody knows what a penguin looks like.
How do you name the penguins? Because you've got 7 here, which we'll have a look at very, very soon. Yeah. How did you come up with the names?
Well, if people find them, or we rely on people finding them, we ask them to name the penguin. So if it's a male, we'll say, what's your name? Can we name it after you, please?
Jay. So you're going to name a penguin Jay?
Only if you find one.
All right, we'll do that today, I reckon. Yeah.
Or if it's a female, we'll say, no, who would you like this named after?
What I like most about the Penguin Centre is you rely on its volunteers, which is massive. And I saw the excitement when they walk in. It wasn't even like they were volunteering.
No.
It was like they were coming here just with excitement and passion like yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they have to be passionate about what they do because they're volunteers.
Yeah.
You know, so, and this is what makes it so good, because they're there because they want to do. And they're meeting people from all over the world. You know, it's absolutely, it's magical. You don't think about you're not getting paid. You're working, you're doing something for the little penguins whose numbers are drastically down, and you know you're trying your best to, you know, do something for them.
The Penguin Centre operates a penguin rescue and release program. When injured penguins are found, they are brought here where they are cared for until they are fit and well, then released back into the wild. For the penguins whose injuries are too severe, they will stay here on and be looked after by a dedicated team of volunteers like Joan.
We've been open here for over 7 years, and during that time we've released over 300 penguins back out into the wild. But as I said, these have either had a handicap or they've still got a handicap. And especially with the conditions out there at the moment, the healthy penguins out there are not surviving, so there's no way you're going to put a penguin out there that's got a handicap. If you look at Nellie up here, Nellie's lost her right eye. She was attacked by a cormorant. She was brought in from the garden out the front here, and her whole head was bleeding because cormorants try to kill them. One of their main predators on the land, other than cats and dogs, are birds. Birds, if they go in their territory, the birds will just try to kill them. We've had quite a lot with eyes missing over the years because of birds. Billy came in from the garden out the front 3 years ago now, and he had a fractured skull. He was pulled out of the burrow by a child in the daytime and thrown against a rock.
Do you notice that the penguins have different personalities?
They do, extremely different personalities. Annie chases butterflies. If a butterfly comes in here, Annie will go after it, and all the penguins go after it, and they all log it about this high off the ground, and they'll try to get it.
And is there a ringleader of the group, somebody that's a bit more dominant than the others?
Annie's a male, but Annie's actually like a big brother to all the penguins, to all the young ones, and they all follow him around, and he's sort of like a nursemaid.
The centre also includes interactive penguin displays and adaptations of the island's penguin colony. There are numerous artificial burrows where wild penguins can be seen through viewing windows. And night tours are held most nights so the penguins can be seen coming in from the sea.
A normal day for these penguins is to go out to sea in the morning before daylight. You won't see penguins on the island in the daytime. If you do, there's something wrong with them. It's usually sick, or they're injured, or there's something. Because of the predators, it's just not safe for them. So they go out to sea in the morning before daylight. They leave home in the dark. The only time on the land is in the dark. They'll go out sometimes 40 or 50 kilometres. It just depends on where the food is they've got to go to, and then come back home at night after dark, back to their burrow. Then back out again next morning. Penguins only sleep for 4 minutes at a time. Penguins only have, if you notice them, they'll have a little sleep, they'll shut their eyes, it's only for a few minutes and they open them up again. And I think that's just for fear of predators, you know, for danger. But they'll even sleep on the water. They lie on the water and they'll just shut their eyes and just float around and, you know, have a little 4 minute sleep. So when they do come home at night, they don't come in and you know, all lie down and go to sleep for the night. It's like a social time. They get around and chat to each other, yeah, around their burrows. We've got some very big penguins around here at the moment. They don't normally look like that. This only happens for 3 weeks in the summer, at the end of summer every year. A penguin has approximately 10,000 feathers, and that's twice as many feathers as any other seabird. And that's because they have to be extremely waterproof. If the water can get into their skin, they'll die of hypothermia out at sea during the daytime. Because they're flightless, they do feel the cold more. So what they do is, in the summertime, ours in here tend to moult a bit earlier, but in the summertime they'll start putting on weight and they will eat and eat and eat. A normal healthy penguin is about 1.2 kilos, between 1 kilo and 1.2 kilos. Now during that time they will go out to sea, out in the wild. They'll go out there for 3 weeks and they will feed. Hello, self. They will put on lots of weight and they will go, sometimes our little guys in here go from 1.2 kilos to 3 kilos in 3 weeks. So you can imagine how much fish they eat to do that. It's a very quick weight gain. And then for the next 3 weeks it's forced starvation. So for 3 weeks they can't eat. But our little guys in here are exceptions to the rule because we've got food here for them. They do tend to come and eat while they're moulting, but out in the wild they can't do that. Out in the wild they'll only come home to their burrows and sit at their burrow and stay there for the 3 weeks.
Right.
And occasionally they might walk down to the water to drink.
They would drop quite a bit of weight.
They do.
Then.
They live off the fat. The fat's their food and their water supply. And it's a very stressful time for them through that. The new feathers will grow come out first and then they push the old feathers out.
Right.
So that's why the old feathers are so straggly. And look down here at all our feathers. These are what's come out of them in the last week. They all sit here and they all help each other, so they'll pluck the feathers out. All birds molt, but penguins lose every feather.
What are we feeding them?
Pilchards.
Pilchards.
Pilchards about 20 centimetres long. Out in the wild they will eat squid or small octopus. They'll only eat very small stuff, or krill if they have to, but these ones live entirely on pilchards. That is their main diet.
And they'll just swallow that whole?
Yeah. Before they molt, who is it, Annie, I have fed Annie sometimes 10 fish at a time before they start putting on weight to molt. They will just eat them one after the other, and then they can't walk because they're huge.
And it takes a lot more energy for them to walk, doesn't it, rather than swim?
It does. Oh, yeah. We had one called Aaron. He lived in a burrow up there, and to come here when he was big, it was easier for him to swim across the water than walk around there because he was so big. He floats better than what he walks.
Wow.
And his fat was on the ground in front of his feet, and so he had to sort of walk through his fat. So it's easy to swim. We're just at the end of our breeding season now. Our breeding season's just finished. We've gone from, they start breeding in April, or they start nest building in April. The male penguin builds the house. The male penguin gathers the grass and the sticks and whatever he can find and put in the burrow. and then the girls come along and check out the burrows as to what they want, and they pick the house they want to live in, and then whoever built the house becomes their mate. When the babies hatch out, both parents share the responsibility, or both parents take it in turns to incubate the eggs. Once the chicks are hatched out, one parent will stay home for 2 to 3 weeks and protect them, and the other one goes off out to sea. The little chicks are like ducklings, jet black, but they've got their eyes closed for a week, and then they grow really fast. So the parents go out to sea every day, then bring home the food, and the little chicks stay home in the burrow by themselves, in the back of the burrow.
Now, Joyce, this is where the penguins enter the land from the sea,
Yep.
isn't it? So they come up onto these rocks here of an evening, don't they?
Yep, they come in through that hole over there, where the 2 rocks are. They'll come through and they will sit on the rocks here for sometimes up to half an hour. They're very tired. They've been out sometimes 100 k's out to sea.
Wow, 100 k's.
They will come home and they will sit there and preen for sometimes up to half an hour, have a rest, and then when they're ready, they'll make their way across to their burrows.
Believe it or not, the penguins do fight for some prime real estate. And this is the penthouse. How amazing was the Penguin Centre?
I loved it. I fell in love with Dorothy. What an inspirational lady.
Such a sweetheart. You know, you can actually walk around the entire island. It takes about an hour.
Walking's not my thing, but I tell you what is my thing. We can take a boat ride right around Granite Island, and we can see some amazing wildlife, sea lions, dolphins, penguins, you name it.
Dan has been working in the marine tourism industry for over 10 years. He's been operating the Big Duck boat tours since 2010, exploring inaccessible coastlines, spotting seals, dolphins, seabirds and whales in their natural environment. The boat is a 7.3 metre expedition-style rigid inflatable boat, and Dan has all the necessary safety gear.
Okay guys, so these are the inflatable life jackets that you need to wear today. And to put them on is pretty simple. All you do is put your arms through the straps at the sides. Not like that. Then this goes up and over your head, just like that.
Like me, Jay? Like me?
Exactly.
Like a bra.
Not quite. I'll give you a hand there, mate. So, like so.
He obviously has never worn a bra before. Good to know.
Then we've got a clip at the front there, guys. This one just pushes through the other one, like so.
Lucky I'm skinny.
Well, we've come across from Granite Island to Seal Island.
Yep.
And obviously we're hoping to see some seals.
That's right. Out here we have Australian sea lions and New Zealand fur seals.
And what other wildlife will we see while we're aboard the boat?
Well, today we're hoping to find some dolphins. There's quite a few bottlenose dolphins in this area, and seals and sea lions, and lots of seabirds as well.
In the cooler months, perhaps whales?
That's right, yep. So between May and October we have the southern right whales that visit here, and they come very close into the bay, and we have some great viewing on board.
Lovely. How fast can this little baby go?
Well, it can actually get up to about 80 k's an hour top speed.
But we do like to slow down and take in the sights and the scenery as well.
That's right, we have a bit of a mix, so we go nice and slow around the scenery and the animals, and then we've got open stretches of water, we speed it up a bit.
Fantastic. Well, I think such a perfect, beautiful way seeing Victor Harbour. Should we hit the sea again?
Let's do it, sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay guys, so this is Wright Island, this one, and this is a council-owned island, so it is open to the public, and on days like today it's quite a good spot to be. Beautiful little beach in here, and great snorkeling on this side, good fishing over here too, good spots for jet skiing as well, so yeah, not a bad spot really.
I think you have got the best job in the world, Dan.
It's awesome, I love it. Yep, get some good experiences out here. Every day seems to be different. I was working on a similar boat up in Cairns, driving out to the outer reef doing dive trips, and it was a big rubber duck like this, and moved back home and decided to start up a similar thing down here and just do sightseeing trips. So it's been really good, it's been really busy.
We didn't have to look for long before we spotted some gorgeous and very playful New Zealand fur seals. They live for about 25 years, growing to about 1.5 meters, weighing around 100 kilos.
So we've spotted some seals. What kind of seals are these here?
Okay, yeah, we've found some New Zealand fur seals today, and they love it out here. There's about 25 that live here in summer. That number increases to about 45 in winter.
Wow.
Yeah, so they love this little protected side of West Island here, and they'll also go hunting in the evenings and rest on here during the day.
Okay.
And we've also seen a few pups out here today, which is always good. Most of these guys have been born in June last year. So they're quite young, only 6 months old or so. And they'll usually stay with their mum for about a year.
And a mum will generally only have one pup at a time?
That's right, yes. They have one pup, and she'll have a 12-month gestation period.
Ah, horrible. And then I think these ones look like little show-offs, really, don't they?
Yeah, these ones are very photogenic. They love having their picture taken. They're not too afraid of humans. These are the ones that you'll sometimes see over on the mainland, over at Port Elliot and Kings Beach as well, just over here. Some of these guys have been going to Granite Island too to grab a few penguins, so they're not too popular over that way at the moment.
Now the name New Zealand fur seal, would that mean that they travel from New Zealand?
Well, they actually occupy the whole southern coast of Australia and New Zealand.
Right.
Yep. So it's about 70,000 in total.
I think you'll agree with me, Jay, that that was such a unique way of seeing Victor Harbour.
Unbelievable. I wonder what the rich people are doing.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. We really got to see so many different types of animals out there. We saw seals, we saw little birds. It was just amazing.
And you can't forget the seagulls.
Oh, so much fun.
Now, I'm a bit nervous sitting here because last time you tried to push me off, but tonight I'm hanging on for grin life.
Well, Dan, we do really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Looks like you've got some people all ready to go for their adventure.
Yep, we'll pick up the next load and head back out, and hopefully we can see some more animals out there.
Thanks,
thank
brother.
you so
No
much.
worries. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well, Jay, what a great day we had, and what a fantastic way to finish off the show with this beautiful backdrop of all of the activities we did today.
Now, Jen, I'll tell you what, the locals here are absolutely fantastic and they made me feel part of the furniture, and I might think about moving up here.
Well, it didn't take too long to get here from Adelaide, just about an hour's drive. What a perfect way to spend a day off.
I cannot agree with you more, but I tell you what, this is a perfect opportunity for a photo of the week. But before we do that, if you have a perfect photo from around South Australia, why not upload it to our Facebook page, G'day SA?
Shall we do it? Cheese!
Cheese.